is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. What a great time we had exposing NASCAR 25 last night. I know I loved it. Hello? Oh, guys, it's my Muppets. It's my Muppets. Come in, guys. Oh my God, look. Maybe wait till you play a game, till you judge it. He's so annoying. That's why I stopped watching him. Smooth-brained clickbait. Great game. You look like a fool now. I think bro might be the issue. Well, okay, keep these all in mind. And then, of course, some of you have run on sentences. Some of you write a script for the next Mission Impossible using video games. Of course, some of you, again, just continue to lay it on pretty thick. But what most of you never want to talk about is the creators in this space that want to befriend game developers, whether it's NASCAR, whether it's Madden. They want to get little race car tours around tracks, and they don't care what the game looks like when you have it. Because let's take a look at some of this beautiful bean footage. For some reason, Billy Byron decides he's going to lock him down way before the chicane, throws me off, which is fine. I go through the grass, which again is fine. But then the game decides, well, that's a penalty, so it better stop me in front of the entire field. The entire field gets penalized because I cut the chicane. And then because, the tire physics, I don't understand where my, quote, tires are cold. I literally am dirt tracking around Watkins Glen all of a sudden. But don't worry, because the tires get their grip right back once they're heated up, and everything just continues on like it never even happened, because that's how quickly tires go from cold to hot, I suppose. This little nugget I've never seen in any game as well. So if you know, the speedometer in your lower right-hand corner is continuing to climb as if the car is going 110, 120, 130 miles per hour, but I'm pretty sure, us smooth brain morons can look at this and realize the car is sitting still. And of course, one of my favorites, this is a green-white checker where if you watch my live stream, I broke this game's AI in mere minutes. The game, however, allowed me to continue on a green-white checker despite having no fuel. And I found it very, very interesting that the game allowed me to go through this restart and then block all the cars behind me to the point that they are going to push me around the track without passing me, but also not really pulling away from me at first when I didn't have any gas. So with that said, I'd like you to take a note again, lower right-hand side of your screen. You'll notice that my shifter begins to just go crazy. For some reason, the car is shifting itself from fifth to fourth to third to second to third to fourth to fifth. But in what I can only describe as a very NASCAR ignition-esque. You remember? You remember when we talked about, this game might remind me of NASCAR ignition just a little bit. Well, part of what made me feel that way was when I saw the physics in this game. Remember, we did that whole video where I said, hey, something doesn't look right about the physics in this game. Something doesn't look right about the AI in this game. Well, guess what? I hate to tell you I was right, but again, notice all this weird shifting when cars go past me for no reason. Why would the AI shift my car when other cars are around me? Why would other cars struggle to pass me and then go slow? Is it because there's some very strange rubber band AI at play here where cars that go past you are very slow and they have no reason to be slow? And if you haven't, maybe take a note of your upper right-hand corner, because all these cars have passed me because I had such a massive lead. I was sixth still when this race finished. And what's interesting about that is if you didn't watch the live streams, we realized that cars, well, they just spin out for no reason. Doesn't seem like they blow tires. It just seems like they randomly spin out. And I just want to take a moment because I did make some NASCAR ignition comparisons. And I know some of you will say that's not fair. And that's why I wanted to just show you what is going on behind me in this moment. Now, granted, it's not that car mountain like we saw with NASCAR Ignition, nor should it be. This game was in development for years beyond that. But why don't you look at that line of cars at Dover, where there's 3 lanes of banking above me to go around? The problem we have in gaming is that people would rather tell you how great a game will be than to be honest with you about what it really is. They would rather align themselves with a developer who is going to give them game codes, who is going to give them special treats and rewards, and in return, they will promote a game to you. Now, very seldom do I fall for it, but I watch some creators in this space put out content that no doubt was approved, that no doubt was handpicked, and tell me how great this game was going to be. I even did a video yesterday that told you I felt I'd seen enough to have this game earn my pre-order, earn my money, earn my dollar. And I can confidently tell you, within an hour and a half of playing this game, it is very much unfinished. It was very much rushed and clearly did not have a lot of testing go into it. You should not be able to pick up a game and say, hey, let's break the AI really quick by reverse pit cycling and see if they adjust. Remember when I told you the things that I wanted to see this game do? Remember when I said one of the first things was I wanted to see cars run a high line, drivers vary their line? We never saw that, but people told me that was in the game. Remember when I told you I wanted to go to a super speedway and see cars kind of break up into different clusters, pit with teammates, pit with the same manufacturer? We never really saw that. Remember when I told you I wanted to see pit strategy? Well, we definitely didn't see that, and last night I showed many times that this game has the pit strategy of a woodland creature, a small chipmunk maybe, working hard on a pit box to earn some nuts. And he decides that cars don't need to pit when cautions come out because they can just pit 5 laps later under green. And then you have 2 cars that will basically lap the entire field, because that's what happens in real NASCAR all the time. I told you that I've worked for pit crews. I told you that I've worked on race strategy. And yet still I had Muppets telling me I had no idea what I was talking about. Fear not, the game was going to be great. Well, the game is here, and the game is anything but great. So my recommendation to all of the people in this community that bought this game, that probably today feel like they were taken advantage of, that probably today, maybe not as bad as NASCAR Ignition, but have that bad taste in their mouth, that feel like, hey, if this took 2.5 years to make, then how long is it going to take to get correct? That think they're going to have to race with a bunch of house rules, that have yet to find out that when you actually go to pit a race car, by default, you get no tires and half a tank of fuel. I'm going to repeat that. You can run an entire fuel cycle, and the game will default to giving you no tires and half a tank of fuel. I watched it happen to me last night. I also watched it happen to someone who was defending the game. Because when you want to change what your pit crew is going to do, for some reason, you have to pause the game, which sometimes also has the competitors you're racing against not pause, which means they continue going while you're looking at a pause menu. That happens, which also brings up the very interesting conversation of, how are you going to pit a car online when you have to pause your game to do so? Because I don't think everyone's game is going to pause when one person needs to pit. That would just be silly, wouldn't it? But then again, there's a lot of silly things that this game needs to get corrected before people can even think about racing it online against human beings, because right now the AI is incapable of racing against you. I would love to know your thoughts on this. I believe there's some Muppets that owe me an apology. And you know, when this game is so bad, but I've barely scratched the surface, there is no way that I cannot be back in the week with more Muppet comments and commentary.